Well, that's why they despise her, because she's a Christian.
Yeah. They're hitting her, kicking her. I mean, I'm telling you, I've seen them slap Christians in the face. I mean, it's crazy. They've killed a bunch of journalists. You know, they've killed tons of children. And they're just, they're stopping humanitarian aid coming in. They've cut off water. They've cut off electricity. I mean, the list of war crimes this guy's committed is like a mile long.
Why doesn't Fox News cover it?
Well,
Jews channel?
Yeah, I mean, Rupert Murdoch, he's a super Zionist. Gaddafi. I mean, he called out. He said that that Mossad killed JFK. When he got them off the the Western banking system. I mean, he was actually doing a lot for his people.
Dan Bilzerian made another shocking revelation in his latest conversation on the Hodge Twins podcast, discussing the situation in Palestine, the Zionist grip on United States, and the background to the overthrow of several leaders in Muslim countries. His remarks could be said to be life-threatening, but that's Dan Bilzerian, who is always outspoken about the injustices around him.
The idea of Judeo-Christian values, when one group thinks that, and not just one group, it's not just the Christians that think that Jesus was a great man. Well, they think he's God or whatever, but the Muslims, they think that Jesus was a great prophet. So these two religions are actually pretty similar. One thinks he's God, one thinks he's a great prophet, but either way, it's, the majority of the world thinks that Jesus was a great man. It's only the Jews that don't. They're literally the only ones that think he was a piece of shit.
Well, they killed him, right? Them and the Romans, right?
Well, they definitely killed him, for sure. Well, they ordered it. I mean, it's kind of like, if the president orders an assassination, the president killed you, not the person that shows up at your door, right? So, it's not the guy that was wielding the axe, the guy that told the guy wielding the axe to kill you. So the Jews definitely killed Jesus. It's unequivocal. And the weird thing is that was just undisputed, agreed upon knowledge until recently. And I remember it was I don't know how many years ago, but not that long ago, I just Googled, did the Jews kill Jesus? And it was 14 articles saying no. And it's what? The Bible says it. Wait, what are you guys talking about? It's crazy. And then, you look, it's Google is Jewish owned. AI is Jewish owned. It's all these things OpenAI, all this stuff. And so you just get really biased information. But even with that biased information, you can still find the truth.
Yeah, right. You can.
And the truth is that, they think Jesus is a piece of shit. And
now Jesus, he was Jew, right? He was a Jew, right?
Well, so he, that's kind of disputed. I think he was more of a Palestinian than a Jew. I mean,
well, that makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah.
Well, they're all Semites. Yeah. Palestinians, the Jews that were there in that era, they're Semitic. Well, it explains why they hate him so much, Keith. He's Palestinian.
Exactly.
Hey, do you have a So these are the kids acting like this.
So these are the kids. So obviously they're being taught this from a young age. This is not something they just woke up and oh, we hate Christians. They're taught to hate Christians.
Right.
And the elders.
What, by the children? The children so
What the? That is nuts.
It's tradition, though, guys.
It's tradition, huh?
Silent people here. Why do you raise your voice? Why you You're such a good person when you raise your voice. Let me raise my voice, not you. Don't raise your voice.
Well, that's why they despise her, because she's a Christian.
Go.
They're hitting her, kicking her. I mean, I'm telling you, I've seen them slap Christians in the face. I mean, it's crazy.
Let us leave. What inside people?
Let us leave.
Go. What inside people?
Stop it!
He said, "Don't incite people."
Huh.
Just standing
I
there.
never saw this one.
What is this?
Oh, they took somebody's cross and they're stepping on it.
Look!
Judeo-Christian values.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What is Judeo-Christian values? I'm like, they hate Christians.
Yeah.
It's bugging me. I didn't know that y'all brought up the fact that Trump. He tucked him in. Put the chair up. Can I see that?
Oh, this one's
couldn't
gonna
believe
piss
when
you
I
off.
saw
You
that.
haven't seen this yet?
I have not seen this.
Get ready to be angry. This one's gonna piss you off more than the spitting. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Anything else I can do for you?
That is crazy. What are people saying in the? Oh, it's not that many comments.
Well, it's just one clip, but the clip like went everywhere.
Yeah, it's absurd. I called this though.
Yeah.
I said this before the election. I was like, everybody thinks that, Trump is going to be this great savior. And, he's obviously going to be much better than Kamala for sure. But people will just blindly follow him. That's the scary part about Trump is that people will blindly follow him a lot further than Kamala. Yeah. So, if Kamala wanted to just basically take over Gaza and do all this stuff, people would be like, fuck that. Who's behind this? They start asking a lot more questions. They're going to blindly follow him a lot further. So I don't know.
You think he's going to be successful in taking over Gaza Strip?
I have no idea. I just think that's such a disaster. But, I just don't think that's any of our business. It's like, it's Palestinian land. It's like we're in NATO, so we should be following like NATO. You can't just steal land. Like that's not a thing.
Right. Yeah.
And that was like one of the reasons why we established NATO is to like stop people. It's like otherwise the bigger countries can just go and take over all the smaller countries, and then it's going to be,
That's exactly what we're doing in it. Well, Palestine.
Well, that's kind of the point, right? It's this whole greater Israel project. Because, if you look at what's happening on the West Bank is completely separate from Gaza. And the West Bank is unequivocally Palestinian land. And they're just like building settlements. They're burning villages. They're burning people's houses. They're bulldozing houses. They're burning their trees down. They're killing them and just murdering them.
Right.
There's a lot of really up things happening on the West Bank. And there's no Hamas up there. It's not, the West Bank is completely separate. And they have no business being there, and they're just developing it. And it's illegal. Like it's just unequivocally illegal. So it's
all war crimes, right?
Yeah, that is a war crime,
and we are part of it. We funding it. Is it true?
What makes us war criminals? Not only are we funding it, but we're defending it as well. How many of our congressmen and senators came out and like basically condemned the International Criminal Court?
Yeah, because they made Bibi Netanyahu a war criminal, right?
Yeah, well, they charge him with war crimes. Yeah, most countries other than the U.S. are, really against it. What he's doing is super fucked up. It's not like a maybe. You can't blow up embassies. Like he's literally doing the definition of terrorist attacks. He's bombing refugee camps. He's bombing hospitals. He's murdered foreign leaders in embassies. He's blown up embassies. He's targeted soup kitchen workers. They've killed a bunch of journalists. They've killed tons of children. And they're just, they're stopping humanitarian aid coming in. They've cut off water. They've cut off electricity. The list of war crimes this guy's committed is like a mile long.
Why doesn't Fox News cover it?
Well,
Jews channel?
Yeah. Rupert Murdoch, he's a super Zionist, and there's people that say he's a crypto Jew. I don't know. That like the crypto Jew thing is real. Like throughout history, there's been, many Jews that have concealed their affiliation with, Judaism. So,
Change their names.
yeah,
it's a lot of that.
Well, who's that dip in South Florida? Mark Cuban.
Yeah, he changed his name.
Yeah, Mark Chabinsky or whatever is. Yeah, like that. No, that's his real name. Yeah.
Bibi, he changed his name too, right?
Yeah, Milanowski. Yeah, because you don't want to sound like a right. So, you have all these. A lot of them, not just him, but many of the Israeli leaders have changed their names.
Oh, everybody. Oh, yeah. Everybody got up and walked out. United Nations.
Ladies and gentlemen, order.
Good.
All this information is so easy to access. Why? When the hell do you think Republicans are going to wake up? You know what's crazy too? When I look at Fox News, they see the Palestinian protests here in America. They just show one side them burning our flag.
Well, they mock them, yeah,
and they show them just burning our flag.
Exactly, and they try and tell the story behind it. Yeah, they try and paint them as anti-American. So you have the good old rednecks coming in like them and a bunch of terrorists and they're burning the flag and they try and make it about a patriotic thing. which is absolute, because true patriots put America first. They don't put fucking Israel first. And everything that we do to help them is putting Israel before America, because all this stuff. Look, we have given them, if you combine it, and you actually have to add the compounding interest, because every dollar that we've given them, we borrowed to give them. We've been in debt for like 100 years.
Right.
So since Israel's conception, every dollar that we've given them in aid, we borrowed to give them from the Jewish private bank, the Federal Reserve, which is not a government bank. A lot of people don't know that. But we have borrowed all that money. So you have to do the compounding interest. And if you do the compounding interest, we've given them $9.6 trillion in foreign aid. And so this whole idea that we could get, whatever, $36 trillion in debt is just fucking crazy. And you look at like the stuff that JFK wanted to do, like, he wanted to keep the dollar, on the gold standard, which meant that you could only print so many dollars because it had to be backed up by gold, which would give it, intrinsic value. And, his opposition to the, Israeli nuclear program, him wanting to, register what is now AIPAC as a foreign, entity. And you look at all the stuff that he wanted to do, and then it should come as no surprise that the guy was fucking killed. And it all points in one direction, right? So I just, man, you can't just stop seeing all these constant red flags, and everything points in the same direction.
Right. Right. A lot of people, when they speak of Jimmy Carter, Democrat president, they pretty much trash him, say he's like one of the worst presidents, if not the worst president ever. This is what he had to say about what's going on in Palestine decades ago. You ready?
Palestinians can't even ride on the same roads that the Israelis have created or built in Palestinian territory. The Israelis never see a Palestinian except their Israeli soldiers. The Palestinians never see an Israeli except at a distance, except the Israeli soldiers. So within Palestinian territory, they're absolutely and totally separated, much worse than they were in South Africa, by the way. And the other thing is, the other definition of apartheid is one side dominates the other. And the Israelis completely dominate the life of the Palestinian people.
Why don't Americans know what you have seen?
Americans don't want to know.
Gaddafi, I mean, he called out, he said that, that Mossad killed JFK. I mean, he got them off the the Western banking system. I mean, he was actually doing a lot for his people. And, we had to overthrow him for the benefit of Libya. And then now you can buy a slave in Libya today for like $400.
Wow.
Right. So like you look at how it was under Gaddafi, and, then they just keep telling you this, like, oh, we have to topple the Saddam regime, and we have to do this and we have to do that. All of them are countries that oppose Israel. And after we, topple their regime or invade their country, those countries are always infinitely worse off.
Right.
Every time.
And they keep saying we're supposed to be pro-democracy. They turn over them. I mean, they destroy democracy.
I mean, if they really gave a shit about democracy, we wouldn't be backing Ukraine. I mean, that guy was not elected.
Right.
Well, he's a dictator. He's a dictator. He's killed his opposition. I mean, he was not elected by his, I mean, he is the definition of a dictator.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people on the left say they are the modern day George Washington.
I don't know too much about George Washington, but I know that guy is one of the most corrupt politicians out there right now, and he happens to be Jewish. Shocking.
That's an amazing coincidence.
It really is. The two places we're giving the most aid, Israel and both run by Jews. Shocking coincidence. They're they're like 1/5% of the world population, and somehow they're running Mexico, which is like a 98% Christian country.
So I was like, how did they elect a Jewish politician?
Well, I'll tell you, it was the bloodiest election in Mexico's history.
Right. They killed off the opposition, too.
A lot of the opposition. Like, it was like 70 people or something got killed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Joe Rogan talked about that. It was the bloodiest election they've ever had.
They had the cartels do it?
Well, yeah. I mean, somebody, somebody did it. But I mean, it's just, you look at this and I mean, I feel like they're just a lot more brazen than they were before.
Yeah.
It's like we have so much power, we don't even give a shit about perception anymore.